I wish I was sponsored by Dr. Pepper. I went and saw a movie last night. Here's what I think about it. Grinch. Here's what you need to know about it. It doesn't reinvent the wheel. It still has Dr. Seuss's source material at its focal point, but it does have fun with it. It doesn't try to be edgy like Jim Carrey and Ron Howard's version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And it's way funnier than the OG one we remember from a long time ago. That's just the short TV spot movie that we all remember. If you like cute animals, though, boy, do I have a film for you. There are so many in this film. None of them beat Max, though. Max is just the best thing about this film, and that's not a bad thing either. Max is the only friend of the Grinch at the beginning, and just the best pet. Kind of jealous I don't have my own version of Max. The way the filmmakers make Max move, vocalize, emphasize, and just kind of just work his body, if that makes sense, even though he is a dog, it's just I know in some scenes what he's saying, even though he just barks. He doesn't actually talk like some people might think he does. You know, he's not a minion. He doesn't talk at all. It's a dog, but his mannerisms are very human-like, which gives him just that adorable cuteness level that you want, and what some people would call a wife win or a spouse win, a partner win, where the guy who does Cinema Wins kind of coined the term, at least in my eyes. I've not seen anyone else do it, where it's just something that makes your significant other like, kind of like thing. And it's the case for me with my significant other, but also me, because I thought Max was adorable. Nothing isn't overdone here, and obviously I can't spoil it because either you've seen the OG one or you saw Jim Carrey's version or you read the book. You know, we all know the Grinch eventually likes Christmas, comes around to it, and usually it revolves around Cindy Lou Who in some way. But this one's different, and I like it. I'm not going to spoil how it's different, but it's different than the other two versions. And one, it was just overall like, how are they singing, and just maybe there is emotion to Christmas in the first one, and then in the Jim Carrey one, it's because Cindy Lou Who's on top of this sled is about to fall and get hurt, and the Grinch saves her, and then his size of his heart grows. And this one is different. It's more emotional, especially if you put a little bit of thought into it as an adult. It's enough as a kid that you get it, but as an adult, there's like an extra layer, I think. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but that's just how I saw it. The Dr. Seuss type gadgets make its way again. You know, we're used to seeing it in the Lorax and other films that emphasize like Dr. Seussian type contraptions. And this one has a lot of fun with it. And apparently I'm really biased with Max, and I think his little gadgets are just the best. Cumberbatch does well with the titular character. He spits out all the familiar lines we know from all the other versions and from the book. It's not snarling like the OG, and it's not as fluctuating as Jim Carrey's version of the Grinch. It stays consistent, which I appreciate. Cindy Lou Who and her mother are in their best forms. Pharrell Williams does a good job of being the narrator. I like all the additions of the animals in the film that we see throughout it, not just Max. Also, Keenan is here, so that's a huge plus in my book. Mrs. Potts is the mayor of Whoville. Angela frackin' Lansbury. This movie was co-directed. One of the directors was Scott Mosier, if I pronounced that right. He worked on Freebird, the greatest Thanksgiving film of all time. Fight me on that. And Yarrow Cheney, something like that, who co-directed Secret Life of Pets. Danny Mother Elfman composes, and then Tyler the Creator also has music in it as well, and there's also some classic hymns being sung by orchestras in it as well, which I always think is a plus because I like orchestras and they sound really, really good, especially with Christmas music. I'm scoring this movie really high, and like I said in multiple reviews of mine, that I don't review it in comparison to the others. I've been comparing it to the other Grinch movies a lot, just because I think it's easier as an audience to recognize how you might like it in comparison to the others. But in terms of its own score, it's by itself. Like with Benedict Cumberbatch, Keenan, and just all the other actors and the directors, and with Illumination running it, what was the worst case scenario, what was the best case scenario? I think it's way close on the spectrum to the best case scenario, and that's why I give it an 8 out of 10. It was really well done. I laughed a lot. There was a lot of fun moments. There was a lot of cute, precious moments with Cindy Lou Who and Max and a couple other characters. And just was a fun ride. I really do think any member of your family could like this film. I really do think it's a great family film to go maybe during Thanksgiving week. Kids are out of school maybe. You know, you might get out of work early, or just be a nice weekend activity to do as a family. And even if it's not a family thing, it's a cute couple thing, or maybe just mother-daughter, father-son, or vice versa, of any of the mix, or guardians, or however you want to put it. I think most people could enjoy this film. It's got a lot of stuff for everyone, and there's fun to be had in it, and I really enjoyed it. But thank you all for watching. Please let me know if there's any thoughts you had on the film that I didn't have, or things that I missed. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you liked it, or check out some of my other ones on the channel. As always though, my name is Clark Addison. I review entertainment because I care, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.